Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave, episode 9. Today I'm going to be talking about handheld games and, really mini arcade games, or whatever you want to call them. These things came out probably late 80s, a lot of these anyways came out late 80s, mid 90s, en masse of course. Before then they did have a few. They had those, those big Sears ones, those racing games, and they were all right. They kind of filled that little bit of a void between having your Atari and having nothing or just going to the arcade. But specifically the ones I'm talking about are the ones that kind of came out in that 80s, 90s phase when things like Super Mario Brothers were the big thing. And even before then when these ones here, like the full Game & Watch series where they had like Donkey Kong. This one, I kind of like this one, but it's not, the box isn't very appealing. But I do kind of put it out in my man cave anyways because the game's kind of fun. But anyways, I was just going to talk about some of the different kinds. And of course, we don't have these anymore. Well, not to this extent anymore because of our cell phones. Now, I have Activision on my phone right now. Just to kind of show you, I can pretty much scroll through, and I have so many different classic Atari titles I could play on my phone. There's Pitfall. Now these are great. I mean, this is perfect because you can carry them all in your pocket. You don't have to worry about switching to all these different pieces of plastic. Now, the one thing I got to say that I don't like about this is the touchscreen. I mean, Pitfall's not too bad, but you get into games like Stampede or anything that requires a lot of quick movements and stuff. I find that the touchscreen's a little bit hard to use. I don't know if everybody else has this problem, but definitely I always found that playing it on the touchscreen was difficult. I would play certain games on this and then go and play it on my real Atari and then realize how much better I actually am on the real Atari, only because of the touchscreen. But I mean, that's a small problem. I mean, you still get to play Pitfall on your phone, which is cool. So, much earlier on, when the Game & Watch system came out, I went and I picked up a couple because I thought, hey, I could play like things like Super Mario Brothers on the go. And we would buy these things to typically bring them to school. We'd have them on the school bus or whatever, take them to the park, and you didn't get a whole lot of like hours of excitement out of them, but they were fun. I mean, they were neat. There wasn't a lot of other options as far as playing video games in those days, right? But then, so those are just the Game & Watch, and there's lots of them. I mean, excuse my region. I have like one of the really older ones, which is this one's called Parachute. Very simple game. You're just kind of moving your guy back and forth, collecting things. But these were the earlier example, and these were fine. I don't know what the point of making them a watch was. I guess they thought people would actually use them as a watch or a clock or something. It even has a little stand on the back. This guy right here, so you can kind of like lean it. Why anybody would do that is beyond me, but whatever. So anyways, these things kind of morphed into the more, I'm sure a lot of you grew up in the Nintendo days. The Tiger Electronics came out. And these things kind of flooded the market like crazy. It was just a big marketing blitz of these games that just kind of all showed up. I have two examples here, Karnov and Gauntlet. The reason why I like these ones is that they seem to be the most interesting of the ones that I've seen anyways. Some of them were very, very basic. They just didn't do much. It would just be like a guy walking across the screen fighting things. These had a little bit more to them. But like after that phase, they started to really flood the market with these aftermarket things. They got into, RadioShack had their own little line of handhelds. This one I bought only because it's pretty much Frogger, which looks good. Yeah, they started to really. I don't know if I would say flood the market as much as everybody was making them, and I think they were just a quick, easy sale. Because we all know the Game Boy came out too, Game Boy Advance and all that, and PSP and all the other handheld stuff came out. So these kind of started to go down. And I just wanted to show these two as well. And the only reason why I bought this is because Pitfall and Keystone Kapers are two of my favorite Atari games. And when I saw these in the store, I had to have them. I don't think I ever really played them. I probably plugged them in and tried them and then kind of unplugged them. I just thought, this is cool. Keystone Kapers and Pitfall. I mean, I would have totally loved these in the 80s, but now I don't know how long these actually lasted on the market. I saw them come in at some point, and I probably picked these up at Walmart or Toys R Us. And I mean, they look neat. The gameplay was all right. It's LCD display. What are you going to get out of it? Now, the one that I did get a lot of use out of was this guy here, Monopoly. Now, again, this is around the time when Game Boy was still out, or was popular. But just to have something like this, you know, it was very handy if you went on trips and stuff. You didn't want to take all your Game Boy stuff. Perhaps you didn't have Monopoly on your Game Boy, or you didn't own a Game Boy. I mean, this was actually a pretty decent game for its time. It talks. It has all the options. It has an AI player. I featured this in one of our Man Cave podcasts, just to show you how the whole video game versus board game thing was going on there. But yeah, I mean, it's Monopoly. I always loved Monopoly. I'm a big Monopoly fan. So when I saw this, I had to have this one. And so after a while, these things, you know, as I said, they were flooding the market in a way. They were kind of everywhere. They were cheap. Everybody was getting them for Christmas, I'm sure. And then for a while, they kind of disappeared. But then I noticed at some point they started coming back in these little keychain forms. And I bought a bunch of them only because I thought it was neat. I'd never use it as a keychain, though. I just find that it's probably not a good idea carrying around electronics like this in your pocket. They'd probably scratch and break, you know. I'm even using electrical tape on the back of this one because the little plastic door on the back, which are obviously prone to breaking, this one broke. But again, I'm going to reach. A bunch more classics actually did come out. Mario Cement Factory. This one is, again, one of the old Game & Watch systems. PacMan. Everybody's got to have PacMan. I don't care if it's a tiny little screen. It's PacMan. And Donkey Kong Jr., which, it's an okay game. I mean, it's nothing like the arcade version, but I mean, what are you going to expect on a screen, you know, this big? This is like what, an inch by an inch and a quarter. But anyways, yeah. So I had another PacMan one here. This one was also kind of neat. They tried to create this color 3D aspect, which I don't think it works. It kind of is awkward. You got this little screen that eventually starts to fail and flap. So I don't know if I would ever want to recommend this one. And I believe these came out for a little while, and then they just kind of dropped off the market. They were kind of based on the more classics, like, you know, this is Pac-Man. I believe they had a Centipede one, and what was the other one? Probably one of the asteroids or something like that. It's all right. Again, I mean, I don't like that flopping screen. I don't like that you're staring into the box. It kind of reminds me of the Virtual Boy in some crazy way. I don't know. It was kind of weird. And two more I want to do. These guys. Sorry, these are all shoved into my man cave. I mean, I just found ways to kind of display them because I thought they've been sitting in a drawer for years. I like them. I like to look at them. I might not play them anymore, but they're nice to look at, and they're kind of interesting to like their artwork on them. And hell, maybe I'll play one eventually. But I just want to show another one of those knockoff ones that I was talking about. Mighty Kong, obviously, is trying to be Donkey Kong. That's the only reason why I bought it. And it does kind of have that kind of Donkey Kong play to it. I don't know if you could see that, but it was a little, you know, it was $10, so why not? This one was a gem. I found this in a thrift shop for $1. That's Zelda. Now, this is one of the Game & Watch ones. Great condition, too. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. The only complaint I had was whoever worked in the, I don't know if this was Value Village or Goodwill or what, I don't know. But they decided to write on it. You'll see there's like a 1 there. They decided to put a $1. So whoever priced this, obviously they didn't know what they were doing. and they kind of almost ruined it with their I could probably get it off, but I don't know. But it's Zelda. I mean, this is an awesome game. I haven't actually priced this guy out, but I'm sure it sells for a lot more than $1. Maybe people could actually let me know. I'm sure I can go digging around for the price on eBay and stuff. But these things, I'm sure they go up and down with the market. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to show off some of this little collection and just say how neat it is that you can kind of, well, the way I kind of display them in my man cave, I just kind of put them up and let them sit there. And people will probably come in and be like, oh, cool, you got that game? Oh, you got that game? Cool. Now, the downside, too, is they all need batteries. These are all AA's, not a problem. These guys are all the little watch batteries. Even these guys, they got their the same specific kind of battery. So yeah, that's a pain. But they are what they are, and they're mini handheld games. I probably wouldn't buy any more if they started selling them again. Maybe, just maybe, if it really looked cool, if it was something really like, if it was like a better version of the Donkey Kong or something, maybe. But no, I mean, these things have run their course. We have our phones, we have our Game Boys, but they're nice to look at, and they're definitely a good addition to your man cave. So yeah, let me know if you have any of these and which ones you enjoyed to play with or trade or do whatever you had to do with them. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and leave some comments. Talk to you then.